Howdy folks, this is Keith Bowen and this is Hard Rock University. We're out in the wilds of Montana and I just had to do an emergency repair on that grade right there. My electric fuel pump went out. Luckily I had a spare. So the place that we're going, literally right around the corner there. This is such a nice flat spot. We're going to eat lunch. So we'll show it to you in a minute. This is not a very big mine, but historical information indicated this is a nice rich little pocket here. It's also got a great view. So I'm going to go ahead and stake this. I did a little panning of the dumps. Found some gold. Not super rich, but not horrible. Come on. Now, put a little dirt around it, anchor it. Some rocks.
Oh, we got lots of rocks to choose from.
Oh yeah. A major selection of them here. Just trying to keep from falling while I do it.
Yeah. Playing He-Man now. That was a big rock.
I'm getting there. I'm getting the GPS coordinates of this location because, unfortunately, the structure appears, what little I can see of it, to be lying northwest, southeast, and so I've got to go 45 degrees. Now, for each latitude, I'm going to have a different amount of degree per foot. So I have made myself a handy little cheat sheet here. Okay, now here's a version of my little cheat sheet. This would be that claim there. Discovery Monument, that's determined by the pit, you know, where we found it. And now the northeast southwest, or rather northwest southeast trend is again determined by the rock. I selected 500 feet this direction, 1,000 feet that direction, purely because I thought that was a reasonable number. And then I got to figure out, what are these GPS coordinates to those corners? The GPS to this you get from your GPS equipment. But then you have to add and subtract. Now first of all, unless you're on the equator, the longitude and latitude are different in terms of 1,000 feet is a different amount. At the equator they'd be the same. At this latitude, 1,000 feet going north means you would add 0.1645 minutes of latitude. This you just kind of have to get from the internet, but it's readily available. Just Google it. On the other hand, 1,000 feet west is 0.2372 minutes of longitude. So I made a scale model using 1 millimeter equals 10 feet. So 15 centimeters is 1,500 feet. Okay? So, and this is 600 feet. Now, position the Discovery Monument. These red lines are north, south, east, west. That would be the origin. In this quadrant over here, we're getting less west and less north, so these we have to subtract. You have to subtract this distance here, and you're going to have to subtract this distance here, and this distance here, and this distance here. Now the question is, how much are they? So I've already measured it. This is 550 feet, as witness, see, 55 millimeters. So now, you just take 550 divide by 1,000 equals times, and this was an east-west, so on the west is 2372, 0.2372 equals. So that means for this one here, we have to subtract 0.1305 minutes. Okay? Now my GPS does degrees, decimal, minutes, so that's why I'm doing this. If it's got to go degrees, minutes, seconds, then you calculate it probably by seconds. Now these two here are farther north and farther west, so you just add. From here to there is 945. See? So you take 945 divided by 1,000 times, again, this is a west, so it's 0.2372. So this you would add 0.2242 west to whatever these coordinates were. And the same with the north. What I may do is I may actually do a video or something where I make cheat sheets like this so you can actually look. But that's basically how you do it. If you had an ore body at some weird angle, you just take your protractor, lay out your angle, and then once you've got this, again, get an origin, and then measure from the origin to your corners, apply your factor for your latitude, and voila, it's done. No, it's not real simple, but once you've got the coordinates, the hard part is done, except for hiking up and down mountains with 4x4 posts. But details. Anyhow, back to the video. Alrighty. So now I'm going to, now that I've got the coordinates of my origin, I'm going to add and subtract the differentials I need to get the GPS coordinates of the corner markers and put those in. I brought 2 corner markers up here because they're going to go kind of in that direction. I've already climbed this high. The other ones are going to go downhill from the truck. So I will go ahead and get that calculated, get these 2 up, and then I'll meet my beloved wife back at the pick-em-up truck. Okay, there's the pit that we were up at, putting in the Discovery stake. And then there's a fairly significant dump here. There's not a whole lot of dumps around that. I found a number of what you might call test trenches, like that one right there, all over this area here. And you can tell that this dump here is a lot more material than they dug out of this trench here, especially as a lot of it's stacked to the side. See, a lot of that's right there. So My question is there a tunnel there going over to that pit there? And that was a big pocket that's just collapsed over the years. Hard to tell. It would take some work to find out unless you had a subsurface radar. Now over here, we have a dump that consists of two types of material. By the way, those nice elk tracks there. It's predominantly this red material. On one side, you got this white stuff. Now I took samples of both, and just some little screen samples. They both had some gold. That had more, and that was bigger flakes. So I'm going to take about a half a bucket of each. I'm going to take them home and test them, see what we got. So there's Eva taking it easy, and from here we head to the next spot. Hopefully we'll get there before dark. And here we are going from M to S, or is it SP? I forget. And look at the view. Wow. Anyhow, get over this ridge here, I suspect, and drop into the next drainage, then head north. Here we're continuing to mosey along from M to SP, and we're hoping that the road doesn't turn bad in front of us because there's not a whole lot of room to turn around. It said it's a designated route. It did not guarantee passability. However, I think we're over the divide. So from here on, it's pretty much down. On the other hand, that pretty much guarantees you won't be able to back up. You can't get through.
And Bear is examining a minor inconvenience here. So we shall see what happens. As you can see, that's a very big root ball still attached to that tree. Couldn't have fallen over too long ago.
So the question is, what is it? I have no idea. I presume that was just target practice instead of taking out the driver many moons ago. Engine and drive lines missing. Looks like they used it basically as a mine vehicle. Huh. Aftermarket roof here. Okay. Let's go over and see the mine. And here's the basic side. There's a house there. There's an ore chute over there. Here's one decline. Do you want to try and look up in there, little one?
I'll get it there. This rock is very interesting.
I think it's limestone.
Yeah.
Pretty broken up here.
Oh yeah. Well,
That's a pretty sketchy looking decline there, huh?
well, the rock itself isn't necessarily unhappy, but there's a lot of broken wood in there.
Look at those widowmakers hanging on the top there.
Yeah. Wouldn't touch them.
No. Think I might could get some sampling in here.
Actually, I would grab one of those widowmakers for a sample.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't know if I got a pry
You
bar.
can see it's sitting right in the middle of a fault.
Yeah.
There's a definite
But it looks like they were taking the stuff underneath it,
Yeah.
is what they wanted.
I would agree.
So I'm thinking I can get a sample of
This
that
is
over
really
there.
Interesting. I mean, look at this stuff.
It certainly could be resecured and reopened
Take a look at this
without a
stuff.
whole lot of difficulty. Yep. We'll get some samples before we head back. I don't know if you noticed I got some at the last spot too.
Yep. There's a little odd smell in here too.
Like what?
Don't know.
Bear?
No. Doesn't smell like bear pee. I mean, there may be some skunk pee in there, but it smells more like the rock itself. The sulfurous smell.
Could be. And then they have another decline over here. This to me looks like an ore dump and an ore chute. So I can take some samples here and pan them. See, I'm thinking this is ore, because there's the ore chutes. Why else would they pile this stuff here? I don't know, but I can certainly take some and screen it and pan it and see what it looks like. Over here first, take a look at this, and then I'll go down the hill and try and figure out where that dip came from. See, this looks to be the same structure as that, except this just caved in. So, that's my guess. You need to dig this out. Wouldn't take long if you could get some heavy equipment in here, but permitting would probably be ridiculous at the current time. Okay. Let me take a look at that dump. You just work your way back to Bugs along this elevation here. It's basically flat. I'll see if I can get down to that dump. See if there's maybe an adit or something. Huh. They had to have a conveyor or something. Well, here's what looks like a grizzly. Yeah, that's a grizzly, all right. About a inch-and-a-half openings. I guess this is the screened material. Definitely need to get a sample of this one. It looks to me like this is all screened.
Yeah.
and stockpiled.
That's what it looks like to me too.
So you don't screen something for nothing. Hello up there.
Hello down there. When you say grizzly, I was thinking you had seen a trap.
Trap?
Track is in pocket.
No. Grizzly as in great. Like railroad iron set with about 1.25 inch, 1.5 gaps. Meet you over at Bugs, little one. Okay, we're here for the night. We'll get Din Din, and then we will. Okay, so there's the decline that's still open to some extent. There's the caved one. Here's the discovery stake. Now you might ask why I didn't put it over there. Well, the reason is simple. If we're going to mine anything here, that area is going to get all real busy and messed up. So by putting it over here kind of out of the way, we can keep this undisturbed for as long as possible. I've also taken a sample of this ore dump here. It has a wide variety of rocks. I'm really not sure what the valuable mineral is. That'll take a little work from historical research. This should be mainly lead and silver. Okay, now to get the corner stakes out. Got to go 1,000 feet that way, 500 feet that way. Which wouldn't be bad if it was flat. It's anything but flat. Anyhow, from Project S or SP, I'm not sure, I think it's SP. This is Keith Bowen signing off from some beautiful scenery. Happy prospecting and keep it safe out there.